Have you ever wondered why society seems to reject those who choose to walk alone? The ones who refuse to conform, who quietly carve out their own path? Science reveals a startling fact. People are hardwired to favor those who fit in. A 2017 study published in Nature Human Behavior found that humans are evolutionarily programmed to mistrust individuals who defy group norms. Sigma males, the lone wolves of society, are the embodiment of this defiance. They don't just reject the mold, they shatter it. But why does this nonconformity provoke such hostility? Why does society, instead of admiring their independence, punish them for it? Is it fear, jealousy, or something deeper? A silent rebellion against the uncomfortable truth that Sigmas hold a mirror up to society's insecurities? In this video, we'll explore the hidden reasons society punishes Sigma males for being different. Buckle up, because we're about to dig into the philosophy, psychology, and unspoken fears that fuel this paradox. Reason 1. Sigmas expose the fragility of groupthink. Imagine a quiet, unassuming figure in the back of a crowded room. While everyone nods in agreement to the loudest voice, he stays silent, not out of fear, but because he knows the truth is often drowned out by the crowd's roar. That's the Sigma male in a nutshell, and this is why society can't stand him. Groupthink is the foundation of social stability. People want to belong, to agree, to fit in, even if it means suppressing their individual thoughts. Sigmas don't play by these rules. They question the herd, exposing its weaknesses with nothing more than their silence or a sharp, well-timed observation. Think of a Sigma in the workplace who refuses to go along with an inefficient process just because it's how we've always done it. While others see his stance as disruptive, what they truly fear is the uncomfortable truth he forces them to face: their complacency. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." Sigmas embody this struggle, but society views their independence as a threat, a destabilizing force that challenges the comfort of conformity. And what does society do with threats? It tries to eliminate them. Reason 2. Independence is misinterpreted as arrogance. There's something unsettling about a man who doesn't seek approval. Society teaches us that validation is a currency. Likes on social media, applause for a job well done, a pat on the back from a boss. But the Sigma male operates outside this economy. He doesn't care if you approve of him, and that drives people mad. Independence, when misunderstood, often looks like arrogance. To the insecure, a Sigma's self-reliance can feel like a slap in the face. Why? Because it reminds them of their own dependency. Imagine a Sigma who skips the office party, not because he's rude, but because he values solitude and reflection. His absence becomes a target for gossip. Who does he think he is? People whisper. But the truth is simpler. He just doesn't need what they need. Psychologists call this the threat of non-compliance. People fear those who refuse to play by the same rules because it undermines the illusion that everyone must follow them. A Sigma's independence isn't arrogance, it's freedom. But society, unable to understand this, punishes him for daring to live on his own terms. Reason 3, they defy labels, and that scares people. Human beings love labels. They make the world easier to navigate, putting people into neat little boxes. Extrovert or introvert, leader or follower, hero or villain. But Sigmas, they don't fit into any of these categories. This ambiguity drives society insane. People want to know, are you with us or against us? Are you a team player or a lone wolf? The Sigma's answer, neither, creates a cognitive dissonance that most can't handle. Take, for example, the Sigma who refuses to engage in office politics. He doesn't play the game, but he also doesn't rebel openly. He's not trying to overthrow the system, he just exists outside of it. To the power-hungry and status-driven, this neutrality feels like a threat. Why? Because it reveals the futility of their own pursuits. Philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre captured this dynamic perfectly. Man is condemned to be free. Sigmas embrace this freedom, refusing to be defined by others. But society, which thrives on predictability and control, punishes them for their refusal to fit into a box. Reason 4. Their confidence shines a light on insecurities. Confidence is magnetic, but it can also be threatening, especially when it's quiet and unshakable. Sigma males exude a kind of self-assuredness that doesn't need an audience. They don't boast, they don't seek praise, and they don't need constant affirmation. This silent confidence unsettles people because it forces them to confront their own insecurities. While others are busy seeking external validation, the Sigma is building his own internal foundation, and that foundation is unshakable. Picture a Sigma in a social setting. He's not the loudest in the room, but somehow he's the one everyone notices. He doesn't try to impress, yet people feel the weight of his presence. This quiet power can make others feel small, not because the Sigma intends to, but because it highlights their dependence on external validation. Society built on hierarchies and competition doesn't know what to do with someone who doesn't compete. So it punishes the Sigma, trying to diminish his influence by labeling him as aloof, arrogant, or antisocial. But the truth is, the Sigma's confidence isn't a weapon, it's a shield. Reason 5. They threaten the status quo. At its core, society thrives on predictability. Rules, traditions, and expectations keep the wheels turning. But Sigmas, they don't just break the rules, they ignore them entirely. This nonconformity isn't about rebellion, it's about authenticity. Sigmas live by their own code, guided by principles rather than societal norms. But this independence poses a challenge to the status quo. If one man can succeed without playing by the rules, what does that say about the rules themselves? Consider the Sigma entrepreneur who builds a successful business without following the traditional path. No networking events, no flashy presentations, just quiet, consistent work. His success becomes a silent critique of the system, and the system doesn't like being critiqued. French philosopher Albert Camus once said, "The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion." Sigmas embody this rebellion, not through loud protests, but through quiet defiance. And that's why society punishes them, because their existence proves there's another way. To be different in a world that demands conformity is both a blessing and a curse. Sigma males know this better than anyone. Their quiet independence, unshakable confidence, and refusal to fit into neat little boxes often make them targets. Society punishes them not because they're wrong, but because they're a mirror reflecting truths many don't want to see. But here's the twist. That punishment is also proof of their power. Think about it. Would the system lash out if it didn't feel threatened? The very act of standing apart challenges the rules others cling to for comfort. And while this can lead to isolation, misunderstanding, or even hostility, it also opens the door to something far more valuable. True freedom. Freedom to live by your own code. Freedom to reject the superficial and embrace what truly matters. Freedom to build a life that doesn't rely on approval, applause, or the fleeting validation of the crowd. Sigma males understand this trade-off. They accept the price because they know the reward is priceless. Now let me ask you, are you willing to pay that price? Are you ready to face the criticism, the loneliness, the whispers behind your back, all for the chance to live authentically? The truth is, society will always resist those who refuse to conform. But history shows us that these are the very people who change the game. Think of the great thinkers, inventors, and leaders who were once ridiculed for their ideas. Nikola Tesla, Socrates, Albert Einstein. They all walked their own paths, often at great personal cost. But their legacies, untouchable. Sigma males are cut from the same cloth, choosing to forge their own way rather than follow the crowd. So if you've ever felt punished for being different, remember this. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Society may resist you, but the world needs people like you. People who aren't afraid to question, challenge, and break free. Because the ones who dare to be different, they're the ones who change everything. Remember to subscribe for more insights on the untold truths of Sigma males. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.